Timta, Abdurkul Shah Yuat Biwasam or Shilpa Timta. This is a phone call to Nabat Khay Rayay Amun or Amu on Facebook. He wants to talk to me, so I'm calling him right now. This is being recorded and will be published for all. Allah Tiamat, Allah Pa Ardut, Allah Azurukaya, Fi Pahazakun.
Who's calling?
Rawat, this is Chief Nanya-Shaabu Ale of the Atsikata Nation of Yamasee Moors.
Hey, how's it going, brother?
It's going.
Hey, yes, I want to talk to you because I see that you got a lot of posts going up on YouTube and all over Facebook. I want to try to sympathize with you because I see it's almost like you're going on the attack and you want to make it a public thing. Why is that? Why not? I understand that you were told, or Doosua was told, to get directly in touch with you. That's one matter. But if he, as the ambassador of our nation, is not doing that, for you to then take the approach of addressing this matter publicly in front of the world, it's not a good look on our behalf, and neither is it a good look on your behalf, because the statements that you're making, and I don't give permission for you to record my phone call, because I know you like to do that. But I'm trying to find out where you're coming from, and why is it that you're taking such a extreme approach simply because Doosua did not get in contact with you.
Oh, that's the question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, first thing is that on the was it April of 2016, the meeting, because you said you heard, I think you've heard that meeting we had with Doosua and them, correct?
Yeah, I heard the phone call.
Okay.
And I recognize, I listened to it actually 2 to 3 times. And
Okay.
I recognized that there were people who had preconceived ideas and feelings about each other, which was the reason why I think that call did not occur in the first place. You see what I'm saying? Now, your reasoning and your understanding of why that meeting never took place may be based on something completely different. But I want to know what exactly is it that is causing you to take such an extreme approach to where you feel the need to address us publicly, and even making statements like we are to turn all of the property of our nation over to you and fall up under your jurisdiction. I want to understand this.
Well, it's self-evident in the recordings. It's self-evident in 5-day comment number 112. It's self-evident. It's one simple question that needs to be asked. And it's been asked 1,000 times. I keep getting new Wabians coming over to me wanting to go through my indigenous standing process. And hold on. I let you speak.
I'm not trying to. I can't hear you. That's
okay.
I don't want to cut you off, but I want to hear you. Can you cut the speakerphone off?
Oh, it's gonna cut the speakerphone off. Why? Are you getting an echo?
No, it's just that it's kind of far away, and I'm not really picking up everything that you like. Some of the things.
How about now?
I'm not really hearing it. Yeah.
Oh, you can hear me now?
Yeah, I mean, I can make out pretty much most of what you're saying, but it's a few things that I'm missing.
Hold on, let me drop the volume.
So far away. Yeah.
Let me drop the volume. How about that?
Okay.
All right. So as I was
ahead.
saying, that the audios stand for themselves, the videos stand for themselves. The question that was asked was, did Atum-Re tell his wife to tell you all, and could have been before Doosua even stepped on the scene. The fact still remains is, did he do that? See, now you're cutting me off. So am I going to get to finish the statement here? I let you talk and I've not interrupted you.
Okay, go ahead.
So the thing is that when that question was posed, when we had the meeting, Ari was the one who contacted me. I said, well, who are you? I don't know who you are. And then when he explained who he was, and I said, okay, yeah, we need to have a meeting. He said, it's been a known fact that Atum-Re told us to get in contact with you. Now, the one who was handling the case before was Rick. Rick was handling that. Rick is gone. Al Woodall was around at that time. Mentu Hotep was around at that time. So them, Bundy, all of those guys were handling that. So when he brought that up, and I said, well, you know what? I don't get this. Let's have a meeting and find out what's going on. Now, this is 2016. So this is 2 years ago going on. So now the question stands. Doosua called an elder and his mate in South Carolina. And the elder said, look, is it true? And Doosua could not answer the question. So the videos stand for themselves. The audios, the recordings stand for themselves. The facts stand for themselves. When I contacted Victoria and I said, well, you're an esquire, and in order for you to be an esquire, that is, you're going to get an appointment. So that means you're basically a queen's agent. So I said, I can't see, based on the definitions, how you're going to talk about freeing Atum-Re when your first contractual obligation is you have to uphold the system. That's in Corpus Juris Secundum. Faki, Doosua, and the rest of them guys got all them law library books and they can't see that? So the information stands for itself. When we had the meeting, our flag was on it. Everybody got an email. If you want, you give me your email. I'll give you the email of, because before we had the meeting, the email was sent out, said if there's any problems with the protocol, here it is. So that was not an issue. If there was an issue, it would have been raised. And so for Doosua to come on the call and say, well, bro, I don't know who you are. I don't know. I said, all you have to do is go listen to the CD, You Are Egyptians, You Are Gods. And I put the challenge again was, look, if you guys are doing what you're doing and we're doing what we're doing, that's cool. But the thing is, why is it I got Nuwaubians coming wanting to go through our process? Why is it I got Nuwaubians complaining about Doosua? Then even your own embassy admits that, yes, Atum-Re did tell us to get in contact with you. I said, that's insubordination. Period. That's not defendable. So as more Nuwaubians keep coming over to Atsikata Nation, I keep saying, well, why are you all coming to me? So then when the truth comes out, no, Atum-Re said to do that. I said, well, based on a diplomatic and an international standpoint and a national standpoint, when your head president, commander-in-chief gives you a directive and says to do this, and you don't do it, the world looks at that as insubordination and disrespect, because that means you don't respect the one that you have that is in charge. So because of this, and the time is gone, and Doosua knows this, a year and a day, in accord with international law, they have not said anything. Every time people ask questions, they've run away. I did a Q&A for 4.5 hours back in July of the Gregorian calendar, and I challenged every Nuwaubian. I said, here, I will talk with you all. You can come on. We got a Zoom, and you can, on your phone, your tablet, whatnot, and you can question me. And not Prince York, not Doosua, not Faki, not any of these elders, not Victoria, not Mario, none of them showed up. So how can they talk about defending our chief Free Malachi York? He ain't in jail. If he's there, you all can't get him out because your foundational contract that you're dealing with in commerce says you are black. Black has no standing at law. That question is the second question. The first question is the question of Atum-Re. It has been unanswered by every Nuwaubian on the planet. So Atum-Re said, if you see somebody doing something that they're not supposed to be doing and you say nothing, you are just as guilty as they are. So that's where this stands. That is going into the Akashic record. Were you in the temple before they raided Atum-Re back on May 2002?
No.
Oh, you weren't? Okay. And Atum-Re stated, this is before that, he's talked about how many of you all can look at a projector and see the stuff that you've done. How many of you can look at everything you've done, agreeable or disagreeable, and it was played back to you? How many of you can see that? So these are what this is what we're talking about. So the information, what I've published, I'm on a whole totally different level. The people that are coming here are overstanding, hey, we're going on a whole different level. So when I publish, this isn't just for, out to the world. What do you think? You think that masters are not watching? You think the Intergalactic Confederation is not watching this? This is going into the Akashic record. This is what happened. And what happened? The Nuwapians, the Munwapians, Nuwu Nuwap, whatever they want to call themselves, said nothing. So I don't have to sit there and explain myself to you. I'm calling you out of a courtesy. The information stands. All you all have to do is disprove what I've done. And it's been 2 years. So if Atum-Re said that when I did that, third-party intervener affidavit that Adrian Patrick has, that no Nuwapians have asked him, where's the document that Chief Nanya-Shaabu did for Atum-Re? Nobody's asking him about that because he would have it on the file. Or he would turn it over to the new attorney, etc. And then maybe Victoria might have it. But the fact still remains that I did that document and I was in the courtroom with my mate. We were there. And when the judges came out, everybody there stood up except for Atum-Re's mother. I was there. So this is not somebody that just came on the scene. I'm an old Ansar. I've been through that school. So a lot of people know. So the information stands for itself. All that has to be done is answer the question. And every time the elder asked Doosua the question, he got upset, hung the phone up. Another sister today, she asked him a question. Hey, y'all can't keep doing that on the international. What do you think? People are going to know when you guys get hit with hard, real, factual questions, produce evidence, reason, and you first response is to run, they're going to know you're not real. So I have an obligation that on the international, our nation is recognized. Can't find you guys on the UN website. Doosua's calling you all black. Black has no standing at law. Barack Obama said it. Trump keeps proving it every time for all these black people who keep trying to support Trump, and he keeps dissing them. Oh, well, Trump's KKK. No kidding. So the information stands for itself. When I read from the Holy Tablets, you guys don't even talk about the Holy Tablets. I read the Holy Tablets, and our nation is going to be reprinting it. So I've told this, I don't hide what I do. So when I say you have to turn your nation over, international protocol, when we met, you're a nation, we're a nation. Is there a problem with this protocol here that we established? They said no. So our flag is the only flag on there. Then after we had the meeting, they took their website down, then they brought it back up. And I've stated this before. I said, if you guys say Atum-Re's there and Victoria or Rochelle or whoever is supposed to be visiting them every week, why don't you guys just end this? Ask Atum-Re about me. That should be real simple. But I already know what the answer is. He'll tell you that's the chief and you guys got to turn everything over to him. Because you guys don't know what the hell you're doing. So you don't have to sit there and wrestle with me. My point is we're on a different level, that our frequency is all different. But the thing is, I keep asking the question, why are Nuwabians complaining about Doosua? Coming to me. I'm like, you contracting with him. Why are you coming to me? Why are Nuwabians wanting to get on our indigenous standing process? Because they know it works. Our nation's recognized. Our documents are legal documents. That card, that's a bunch of nonsense. So I don't have to ask anymore. And that's why I said that in 5-day comment number 112. Since you all can't answer the one simple question, did Atum-Re say it? They can't even lie and say he didn't say it. So that means he did say it. So your nation is underneath Atsikata. You have to turn everything over to us. Period. This is non-negotiable.
Were you finished with that?
I'm done.
Okay. So, do you mind if I ask you a few questions now?
Sure. No, I don't. I do not mind. Hold on. Let me rephrase that. I do not mind that you ask me a few questions. So you can go and ask me a few questions.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, you can ask me a question. Yeah.
Okay. All right. According to the actions that you're taking right now, meaning commanding that the United Nuwabian Nation turn all of our property, assets, and etc. over to the Atsikata Nation.
Yes.
Do you think that this is something that Atum-Re wants?
Do I think that's something that he wants?
Yes. Do you think that this is what Nabat Atum-Re wants? And despite of the mission that he has been trying to complete for the past, say, 60 years?
Yes, I accept.
Years,
yes.
Like that? I mean, like, do you think just because Doosua didn't get in contact with you that Atum-Re completely changed his mind and said, you know what, forget everything I've been trying to do. Since Doosua didn't get in contact with the chief, just turn everything over to the Atsikata Nation. Is this something that you think that Nabat Atum-Re would approve of if you directly spoke to him?
Yeah,
and told him and said, okay, Doosua York is not meeting with me like he said, so I'm telling him to turn the entire nation over to me. You really think he would say, okay, yeah, go ahead, do that?
Yeah, I just answered that.
Okay.
Here,
right, so
hold on. Let's be fair about this.
Okay.
Let's be fair about this.
Okay.
I'm not going to just say yes. I'm going to give you some facts. There is a CD that the UK put out. They call it a leak in 2014, and that's really misleading. It's not true because the CD came out in 1999, and it's a CD called "You Are Egyptians, You Are Gods."
I'm aware.
Okay, so you've heard that before?
Many times.
Okay, do you know who was asking Atum-Re that question?
Which question was that?
On the "You Are Egyptians, You Are God" CD. You said you listened to it numerous times.
Questions that were asked.
No, not the videotape. I'm talking the 28-minute CD.
Okay, that was the one question?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I don't remember I remember the bill. I don't remember the question because Bob, he doesn't just.
But it was that's fine. That's fine. I can accept that with reservations. The point though is that there was only one question. You do remember that? Only one question on that, right?
Well, yeah, now that you're bringing it back to my memory, yes, I do remember. It was a few tapes where Baba would build the entire tape based off of one question. But like I said, I don't remember exactly what the question was, but I do remember hearing your voice on it. Am I not mistaken?
Yeah, that is my voice.
Okay.
And
but I don't remember the question though.
The question was, he talked about a couple weeks about the disagreeable side that we have to fight against ourselves. And I said, is it part of our soul or is it that nature part of our DNA? Right.
Okay, yeah, okay, now I remember.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I was just listening to that earlier today.
Okay.
I'm not joking at all.
Beautiful. So the synchronicity is there. And in there, Atum-Re said, if you ever want to get near Egypt, you better build it. He said, you did it before, and you can do it again. So there is your yes. You all have...
Wait a minute. You can't, that's... Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you.
No, yeah, you asked, do you think Atum-Re? And I said right there. That's why I used that tape. You guys are probably selling the tape or mentioning the tape. Don't even realize I'm the one that asked the question.
Okay.
So he said on the tape, if you ever want to get near Egypt, you better build it. You did it before, and you can do it again.
Right. How did you interpret that statement?
I just answered your question.
What did you pull from that?
I just answered your question. He said, if you ever want to build Egypt, if you ever want to get near Egypt, you better build it. You did it before. He didn't say we did it before. He said you did it before, and you can do it again.
Okay. All right.
There's your evidence. Go ahead.
Do you think that every time Baba uses the word you, that he's talking about you exclusively? Or is that just the way you interpreted that particular statement?
Well, I'll put it this way. When I asked him the question, I said we. And he said when we talk about the battle that takes place inside of ourselves, it's not our soul. It's the reality of what we created ourselves into. So when we're fighting parts of ourselves, when we're fighting ourselves inside, we're fighting parts of ourselves that we don't fully understand. So it must be alien information, not alien.
Right. That's right.
So when I asked the question, I said we. He responded we. Then he said, you're calling on the ancient Egyptians. They can feel you calling on them. That's when he said, if you ever want to get near Egypt, he didn't say we as a collective. If you ever want to get near Egypt, you better build it. You did it before, and you can do it again. Nothing left to that's not debatable. It's an absolute. So like I said before, it stands on itself. The information stands on itself. The information has validates itself, proves itself, etc. That's it.
Can I just give it to you from another perspective though? Because I understand from what you're saying, but I'm just.
That's it. There's nothing. It's absolute. There's nothing left to talk about. There's nothing left to talk about. Everything has been out there. They've had plenty of time. My phone number is on the planet. Anybody on these 6-7 billion people on the planet can call me anytime. My phone is tapped. The disagreeables, the reptilians, the shapeshifters, I talk to them too. Tell them, look, I want to see scales and tails. Quit fronting and hiding behind or hiding within people. Come out into the daylight. Walk in the light of the sun.
Right.
That's what I do.
I'm just saying that when I heard that tape, and every time I hear that, I remember that question specifically. Now that you bring it back to my attention, I remember that question very much. And when he answered that question, I did not interpret that as Baba was only talking to you. I interpreted that as when Baba said, if you ever want to get close to Egypt again, you better build it, meaning you all, not just you as an individual. And the reason why I say it that way is because he said you did it before and you will do it again. So who did it before? Was it you, Chief Nanya-Shaabu, or was it us as an entire race of being, Negroid race? We built it before and we will do it again. So he was saying
he never
you
used the
built
word,
it before and you will have to do it again. He was answering your question and he may have been talking to you, but I don't believe that statement was only exclusive to Nanya-Shaabu building Egypt and everybody else. You see what I'm saying? He meant when he said you, he was referring to all of us.
There, but you're entitled to your opinion.
As a part of,
you are entitled to your opinion.
You're cutting me off now because I gave you about 10 to 15 minutes to talk,
and
but you're not allowing me to speak.
No, I did allow you to speak. I said you're entitled to your opinion.
No, I only asked you a question. I never spoke yet. Oh, when I first got on the phone, I asked a question and I allowed you to speak for 15 minutes, and then I just asked.
Because I had to remind you.
I allowed you to respond.
Because I had to remind you.
Now I just simply want to say my piece.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So like I was saying, how you're interpreting this particular statement, even aside from that, we can sit that to the side because that is that is, you say that is not debatable. You say that is is solid, but that can be interpreted more than one way. Because, like I said, every time I hear that tape, I was not interpreting that as him directly talking to you. I took that as he was talking to me too, and every other person who wants to be a part of Egypt and feel that they are the descendant. If we want to build it again, we will have to build it ourselves. I didn't interpret that as him only talking to you and you have to build it. I interpreted that as him referring to all of us. Now, putting that to the side, because I don't want to dwell on that too long. Really, I was just trying to get a understanding on where you're coming from as a brother, and I don't see you as a bad person. You know what I'm saying? You're a good brother with good intentions, but the actions that you're taking, you're not understanding yourself, the consequences that it's having. And the reason being is because the previous call that Baba had with not the exact previous, but the one where he had it with Doosua. Doosua called up and Baba was talking to him for about 56 minutes. And on that phone call, he made it explicit to Doosua. He told him directly. He said that yes, we have a fight going on. We have the American or the Native American indigenous fight of our indigenous status as Native Americans, but we also have the African fight because everybody is not indigenous, Nanya. You know what I'm saying? But what Baba made clear on that call is he explained, he told Doosua explicitly not to mix them up. This is the word he used. He says, do not mix them up. Do not try to do both of them at the same time. We have two fights going on right now. The fight that Baba wants us to focus on, which he said out of his own mouth, was the African fight. And the reason why he does not want us to focus on the Native American fight is because he knows if we focus on both of them and try to bring it into court, that they're just going to throw both of them out at the same time. So I'm not saying that that's the reason why Doosua is not calling you. That's not what I'm saying. Only thing I'm saying is based off of what Baba said, what Atum-Re said. He said out of his own mouth directly to Doosua, he said, do not mix them up. Do not bundle them together. Do not try to fight both fights at the same time. He said, fight the African fight, and we'll see what happens with that. And that's what you see Doosua doing right now as the United Nuwaubian Nation. You see what I'm saying? We are a conglomerate of tribes. You see what I'm saying? So yes, we are Yamasi, but the United Nuwaubian Nation is not just Yamasi. We have Africa, so we have multiple fights that we're taking. You see what I'm saying? I don't disagree with what you're doing. Only thing I disagree with is the method that you're taking in order to get a response. Just because Doosua is deleting your post, you see what I'm saying? You're taking more of an extreme response by going on to random Nuwaubians pages and posting. That's not going to work. It's like a house divided against itself, Nanya. You see what I'm saying? You're making it seem as if you're completely separate from us, and you're not. You're our brother too. But we have our own chief. We don't say that you're not a chief. We just say that we have our own.
Okay, so then we're not together then.
Okay, go ahead.
So then we're not together. You can't. We're not together then. I accept that. That's not an issue to me. Why do you say that we are black? Why are you saying that we are black when we as Nuwaubians are not classifying ourselves as black? Okay, great. I'm glad you brought that up. Doosua was at the UN, and the picture he has said, did you know that the UNNM is the only black and Native he said the only black nation that has a seat at the UN General Assembly? That's a lie.
I've seen it. Yeah, I saw that. And you know what I thought about you when I seen it. But what you have to keep in mind, Nanya, is that picture was not targeting towards any government agencies, no government officials.
I accept that for value and consideration.
Let me just clear that up because I think that this is the reason why there's so much confusion going on. The confusion is going on because you must understand that we still have a lot of our people who are classifying themselves as black, and they don't. If you even said Atakata or Yamasi, they would look at you like you're crazy because they don't know what you're talking about. They classify themselves as black. So we know that since Doosua is the ambassador of the United Nuwapian Nation, his job is to bring Africans of the diaspora together. Why? Well, why do I say this? Because the ECOWAS nations in Africa delegated Doosua York, right, as being the ambassador of all the Africans of the diaspora to come together and band together and come back home. So we have a fight with the African nations, the African Union or the ECOWAS nations, partnering, and they just delegated us land, so that we're working with these different countries for that specific reason. But we're not pulling the rug from up under your feet. We just have multiple fights going on. Everybody is not Atakata. And for you to say that we need to turn over all of our property to you, you don't have any standing to even say that. You see what I'm saying? Like,
no, hold on. Hold on a second.
Okay,
hold on a second. You have no lien on the United States. I do. You have no claim on the British throne. I do. You have no lien on the Vatican. I do. You have no document authenticated by the State Department signed by Condoleezza Rice. I do. You are what's called ultra. You are ultra vires. You are stepping outside of your limited liability. I'm the one that exported the U.S., Canada, and Mexico corporations to the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. That's why the U.S. Census Department and the U.S. the 7525, the Department of Commerce, which is in Indiana, they're the ones that handle when you're doing an exportation of a document or item, what have you. They called me, and this is what I told people. I said, people are not getting this. They called me, and all the documents that you've seen, they said, why did you send this? I said, because I have to show I have a claim. I can't just do one piece of paper and say export this. I have to show how I have right title interest in doing that. They said, okay. I said, so is everything fine? You're going to do the exportation? They said, yes. Now what has happened? Every time, if you watch that movie, what's their names? In Independence Day, Revisited, I think it's called Revisited, the one without Will Smith. They said there's an alien mothership. You saw the movie, right?
You saw,
the new, not the old one, the new one that just came out about 2 years ago.
Yeah, I saw the new one too with Will Smith, the newer one. Yeah.
No, that doesn't have Will Smith.
Oh, okay. You're talking about the newest one.
Yeah, I think it's Independence Day Resurgence. I think that's what it's called. And they said,
that one, I kind of got disinterested because Will Smith wasn't in it.
No, you got to watch that. You got to watch the movie, because in the movie, the alien craft had a mothership that was probably about the third of the size of the planet. So the mothership came, and where did it land? In the Atlantic Ocean. This is in the movie. Okay. They got a TV show called The Last Man on Earth. Where does he live? In the Atlantic Ocean. I said, oh, so these guys are seeing this. So the Hollywood writers are okay. They know that it's been exported. All the corporate stuff goes into that. That's what I did. So what this means now is any contracts pertaining where you haven't made a declaration that is done appropriately, because first of all, you got to have standing, then that means you're automatically tied to that system. And this is what I've been expressing to people only certain people are going to get this. Not everybody's going to get this. And I'm not interested in wrestling with mummies or wrestling with people who don't get it. This is for the people who get that spark and say, hey, what else is there? Then when I start telling them, like, what? I said, yeah, they got it all flipped out. They got it all orchestrated for people to recognize the illusion as being more real than what's natural. So that is the reason why. So the White House, I faxed Barack Obama. What did they do? They turned around and took control of Canada on February 2nd, 2011. This is after the export declaration, which was done March 17, 2008. So they know, the elite know what's going on. That's why all these changes are happening. So Everybody who's sitting there, and I'm saying, look, the contracts are there. I don't care if you call yourself a Nubian. That's not the issue. The issue is you're doing commerce. And on your contracts, it'll have you either as black or African American, maybe other, depending. And if that's not specified as per race and ethnicity, you have no standing at law. So it doesn't matter if Doosua allegedly, and that's what I'm calling it, because there's no validation that all those African countries chose him to be lead. They're African. They're looked upon as black. Black has no standing at law. That is an absolute. That is not debatable. The definition of black is a person having origins in any of the black racial groups of Africa. Name me a black racial group of Africa.
So I mean, why?
Hold on,
not,
I asked you a question. Hold on, I
Okay.
asked you a question. Name me a black racial group of Africa.
Oh, okay. Okay. You said name a black racial group of Africa.
Yes.
You know what, man? This the language is so confusing. it's so confusing.
If we're speaking English, name me a black racial group of Africa. That's all.
Okay.
That's my point. You see how long? See how long it's taking? What they gave you for English? English is not our language. We both can agree on that. So therefore,
right. So why do we define ourselves as white? Why do we pick up their words at all? Why not just completely say
point.
I don't want to pick up their words?
Great, because you're not looking at the definitions. You're ignoring.
No, I have. I looked at the definition for white and black.
What's the definition for white?
I have been studying what you've been putting up there.
What's the definition for white?
Oh, well, the definition. Well, black, pretty much.
No.
Any races having ancestry.
Come on. Use your nine mind. Unacceptable. Use your nine mind. Let's be precise, shall we? White is defined by the NCES, which is the National Center for Education Statistics, which is endorsed by the U.S. Department of Education. The U.S. is a corporation. You all know that. What's the issue?
Right.
White, the definition, this is what they're saying, is a person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, or North Africa. Europe is named after an Ethiopian princess. The Middle East is really Northeast Africa. And of course, North Africa is North Africa, from the equator going up or from South Africa, depending how you want to look at it. So this is what they are saying. White is these people. That would mean somebody from Nigeria, Ghana, Liberia, Kenya, to Somalia, Ethiopia, Egypt. All those people are actually, according to the U.S. definitions of race, they would be white.
Right.
So
do we fall up under their definitions or ours?
Okay, I'll answer that this way. That's a good question. When you are doing business, whose terms and definitions do you use? Theirs.
Okay, why is that mandatory, and why can't they use ours? Why is it mandatory that we always fall up under their jurisdiction, under their definitions? I understand that that's the status quo today. I know that that's the status quo, but that's what the European nations have been doing all across the world, conducting business and forcing other countries to conduct business in their language.
Agreed.
And their language, and that's not a mandatory thing on a business level. It's more lucrative for other countries to learn English so that they can do business with the Caucasian. But it's not mandatory. If you tell the Caucasian and European nation that you will not do business with them unless they speak your language,
they won't do business.
Are you going? Yes.
They won't do business with you.
You said they won't.
They won't. You got gold?
Well, are you saying that none of them won't? Because
Hold on. I just answered. Do you have gold? Does your nation have gold? Our nation does. Do you have gold? Your nation? No.
What do you mean? Do we
Does
have
your
gold
nation
reserves?
have an industry that trades internationally? What is your nation's industry?
I specifically don't know if we have gold to trade internationally.
Silver, platinum, oil. You make clothes.
Yeah, those are resources, but that's not all.
No.
Matter of fact,
my point
those
is
tend
this.
to be the resources.
Yeah, but this is my point. If it's something that is not what's considered a tangible asset or an economic necessity,
Right.
then it doesn't have any bearing in the international arena. And as long as you all are still accepting Federal Reserve notes, then you're contracting underneath that, especially if you're not a secure party. So you've agreed to the terms and conditions.
By accepting Federal Reserve notes.
Yeah, because Federal Reserve is a private Jewish bank.
So any nation who accepts Federal Reserve notes from the United States falls up under the jurisdiction of the United States simply by virtue that they took the bill.
If you're not a secure party, if your nation's not secured, if your nation is not dealing with the reality that, okay, this is a law of necessity, but there are caveats and there are loopholes even that the Federal Reserve has put up on their website regarding that. But that's the default.
But you know what I'm hearing? Do you know what I'm hearing, Nanya-Shaabu?
Mm-hmm.
I'm hearing you will not be able to buy nor sell unless you have the mark of the beast. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing all of those people who are able to get into the international community and trade the resources that their country have and not get sanctioned and be a part of that round table, as the master teacher defined and explained it, that is the mark of the beast, falling up under their system and buying and selling, trading with them, based on the fact that you trade their notes.
I accept that for value, honor, and consideration with full reservation of my indigenous rights eternally.
Break that down for me. Break it down.
It's already broken down up on my web pages, on my YouTube post.
Okay, repeat it, because it kind of slipped my mind.
I accept that for value and consideration with full reservation of my indigenous rights eternally. Same goes for this phone call.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, just what do you accept that as a truth that the master explained, that us becoming a part of? Okay.
Do I accept what
that
truth?
Was a lie.
Do I accept what truth?
Well, that Baba explained to us that becoming a part of their international community, falling up under the jurisdiction of, or a part of the community of the United Nations, as a full nation to trade with European nations and these other nations. Is that not?
I don't believe that because
Atum-Re,
I don't believe it. I do not believe that because first of all, I don't believe he's in jail.
Okay.
And you know that already.
He lied about that too?
Pardon?
When on the phone calls, when he's on the phone calls, he's saying that the guards they're torturing me, not giving me my medicine. You think that that's Baba lying from some mansion?
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. What happened to the Victoria did the clemency and didn't even have the class to say that you all didn't get the clemency. Instead, you all kept silent. Then, we're asking President Trump for a clemency. I'm like, how stupid is this woman?
Wait, hold on. Repeat that one more time.
The clemency that you guys tried to get with Barack Obama, going outside the White House, freezing your butts off in January of last year, didn't get it. Didn't say, hey, we didn't get the clemency. You all kept that quiet. Then when Trump came into office, I see around April, springtime, we're doing a clemency with President Trump. I'm like, come on, he already got turned down twice from Barack Obama. Like, come on, you guys ain't dealing with reality.
Where's your evidence of that? Because Victoria made it clear that it was not denied at all. And she said that since it was not denied or approved, that based off of that, that means that the White House has not taken a look at it yet, or they're still looking at it.
What?
Because they have not. She says she hasn't got a decision on it.
Yes. Now, have they communicated something to her in writing that she can show to all? Yes or no?
Wait, say that again.
Have they communicated to her in writing what she has allegedly told you all?
Okay. Oh well.
Yes or no?
Well, I'm saying what she is telling us is that she has not got a response.
Yeah. So how do we know?
Saying that we.
Go ahead.
We don't expect them to respond to her until they actually respond. We're not expecting a letter from the White House saying that they haven't responded yet.
Okay, great.
But she's telling us based off of the fact that she hasn't gotten any notification from the White House that the clemency package has been received, opened, denied, or approved.
So how did she send it?
She is saying that she's saying that it's still hope because she has not gotten any message at all from the White House, but she did send it in.
No.
So that's why
here's my point. Here's my point.
Okay.
How did she send it? By courier, registered mail? Because if she doesn't even have evidence that they even received it, she's incompetent.
Yeah.
She's incompetent. She just demonstrated she's incompetent.
Oh no. She did put that out. She did put out that they received it.
How did she send it? I'm asking you. How did she send it? By registered mail, by courier, by DHL? How did she send it?
I'm gonna personally get that information. I remember her coming out with a document.
Come on, you can't come to me.
And, I don't know. I don't remember if she mailed it in or what was the method that she put in.
That's incompetence. That is incompetent. I'll tell you that right now. And I hope when she hears this, I'm telling her she's incompetent. Ain't no attorney worth their salt.
She's incompetent because I don't know how she mailed it in. She's incompetent.
Did she publish it? Do you all have copies of it? Have you put it on your website?
I'm just another new Wapia. Like I said, I don't know, she may have done all of that, but for you to say that she's incompetent because I don't have that information, that's almost incompetent of you.
No, I'll accept that. Like, flattery gets you nowhere. Flattery gets you. I've said this before. I told her and I'll tell Mary. I'll tell it to her face. I don't give a fuck. She's incompetent. What? She is incompetent.
Based on what?
She's an esquire. Now let's break this down here. Then we're gonna go because like I said, the information I have stands for itself. First, you said thing. Hold on. We know that she's an esquire. This is not a regular position. Benjamin Franklin was an esquire. Esquire means she's an agent of England. So I said, well, I can't see how she's going to free him if he's there because I don't believe he's in jail. I said that 1,000 times. If she's an esquire, how can she free him when her client, which means ward of the state, Faki and them supposed to be knowing all this terminology, she should not be calling him a client. That's her first mistake. And that's the only thing I'm going to give y'all. Client... She's not supposed to be calling him a client. Client means he's a ward of the state. I'm like, y'all ain't getting this. Y'all are not getting into definitions. That's the first thing. Yeah. The next thing is, she turned around and because she's the agent and refers to him as a client, she's doing a clemency. Now, you previously mentioned about the United Nations, and Atum-Re said not to be part of that. Okay, I accept that for value, honor, consideration with full reservation of my indigenous rights eternally. When we go now, you're asking, or Victoria rather, is the one presenting a clemency to a corporation, which is the matrix, which equals the devil. So you really think begging the devil for mercy, using an agent of the devil in the devil's playground, they're going to feel sorry for him, especially when he's black?
Yes. You want to know why?
Nope, don't want to know why. I don't want to know why. You said yes, I accept that. You said yes, I accept that. I don't want to know why.
Yeah. Okay, well, I mean, a house divided is against itself cannot stand.
Agreed.
So if she is them and they are them, and she's fighting against them, then that means that, yes, that is how you bring it down.
Well, hey.
You put the devils against the devils, right?
Go right
And
ahead.
she's awarded the state and the agent, and we put an agent against the state.
Yes.
How is that not a good thing?
What did I just say?
I mean,
He's black on contract. Black has no standing at law.
you said she's black or he's black?
He's black on contract, or yeah, black on contract.
Under the White York, a misnomer, not really him.
Doesn't matter.
White York is
Doesn't matter. Black has no standing at law. Just letting you know.
So what do we do? If you were in her position, what would you do? Are you able to get his status changed from black to
First of
indigenous
all,
while he's in
let's
prison?
deal with first things first. First, you turn your nation over to me. Then we talk about that.
Okay.
That's what we do first. That's why I'm putting it out there. That's why it's in the Akashic record. That's why the elders, the Intergalactic Confederation, that's why all of them know. I said, yes, now I'm telling them, you turn United Nuwabian Nation, that organization gets turned over to Atsakata.
You're usurping Atum-Re by even proclaiming something like that.
Then tell it to Atum-Re. There, here's the challenge. Go tell it to Atum-Re.
Why don't you?
No, stop.
I'm saying,
You said I'm
you try to get in
usurping.
touch with
Hold
him?
on. You said I'm usurping. If that's the way,
Yes,
ask Atum, tell Atum-Re that Chief Nanya-Shaabu said you got to turn UNM over to Atsakata. Tell him.
Oh, I mean, yeah, since he said it, I will try to get that message to the master teacher.
Tell
And
him.
your request.
Because I know he's not in jail. I already know that.
Okay, so the master has been lying, saying that he's in jail?
No, Doosua, Victoria, Mario been lying.
Okay, so the phone calls where it sounded like Dr. York saying, I'm in prison getting tortured. Was that not Dr. York?
You just said it, not me. You said sounded like Dr. York. You didn't say it was him.
Yeah.
So that's on you.
Well, because I don't know. I'm simply going based off of the facts
There
that
you
I
go.
do have. I said
Get
it
facts.
sounded like him.
Get
so
some facts.
Based off of that fact, are you making the proclamation that
I'm not
was him?
proclaiming anything. I've already got my claims out there. You guys don't have any.
Your proclamation was that he's not in prison.
I didn't
would
say a
just like to see the
proclamation.
evidence of that.
I didn't say proclaim anything.
Well, no, I didn't. Okay.
You keep using the word proclaim. I'm not proclaiming anything. I'm saying he ain't there. And I said if he's there, and this was the challenge even at the meeting, if he's there and Victoria can see him every week, even the elders asked Doosua that question, then ask Atum-Re about Chief Nanya-Shaabu. Silence. So that's it. There ain't nothing to talk about.
So if he's not in prison, why is he? Why are you not able to get in touch with him? If he's not, if he's out here, right? And why is it that? Why would he tell Doosua York to get in touch with you?
You asked
rather than just
Doosua
come
that.
and do it himself. Why do you think he's playing this big game like this for the past
Ask
15 years?
Doosua. That's not for me to ask. You guys confess that. Eri
No,
was the
I'm
one.
not talking about Doosua.
No.
I'm
I
saying,
said
why do you think
Eri.
Dr. York
You
is
didn't
playing that
listen.
game?
You didn't listen to me. I said Eri, before they demoted him and kicked him out, was the one who confessed on the call that you heard. Everybody heard it on the planet. Heard it. That he said, I've known, it's been a known fact amongst Nuwabians for years that we were supposed to get in touch with you. And here we are.
Right. I remember hearing that.
Okay, good. So you're guilty.
Okay. Oh, yes, we are guilty of that. But like I'm
Okay,
saying, in spite
there's
of,
nothing
you're
left to
correct-
talk
you're
about
correct on
then.
that.
There's nothing left to talk
But-
about.
but
You
what's
just
your-
hold on.
you're
Hold on.
making-
You just admitted to being guilty. How do you remedy the
We
guilt?
were supposed to get in touch. We
Yes.
were supposed to get in touch with you, and we didn't do that.
Good.
Yes, that is correct. Doosua
Good.
York was supposed to get in touch with Nanya-Shaabu,
Good.
and it never happened.
Good.
Now,
Chief Nanya-Shaabu is saying, because of the continual fraud that you all are doing, you must turn your nation and everything pertaining to the organization over to Atsikata. That is non-negotiable.
So not getting in touch with you is defined as fraud?
Let me put it this way. You say Atum-Re is your chief, correct?
Say that again?
Atum-Re is your chief, Pa Nabat Khay Rayay Amun, Dr. York, whatever, you say he's your chief, correct?
He's our president.
Okay, you do what your president tells you to do, right?
President in chief. That's right.
You do what he tells you to do. You do what he tells you to do, correct?
That is correct.
You did not do what he told you to do because you just admitted you're guilty that Doosua was supposed to get in contact with me and he didn't, correct?
That's an individual, yes.
Answer the question. Yes or no? You just said that Doosua was supposed to. So that means you disobeyed a direct order, correct?
But you're
answer the question. No, hold on. Answer the question.
I said that's correct. That's correct.
So therefore, because I only found this out 2 years ago, that means that's a secret that you guys kept from the rest of the Nuwabians worldwide. Now that I've known that, hold on.
Doosua said he didn't know you. Doosua said he didn't know you.
It don't matter. It doesn't matter. You just said that it's your president, your chief, you do what he tells you to do, correct?
Right.
So you didn't do that, you admit to guilt. I'm seeing continual fraud and other Nuwabians coming over who've gone through our indigenous standing process. Some of them have drafted affidavits. By that fraud voids a contract ab initio. UNNM must turn all your organizational materials, everything over to Atsikata. Atsikata Nation of Yamasee Moors is a secure party with a lien on the United States Corporation, and they know about this because the Secretary of State sealed it, which equals claim. End of story.
Okay. Okay, so that includes the United Nuwabian Nation as well as the United Nuwabian Nation of Moors, because that's two different nations. Which one are you talking about? You can't say both, so you got to pick one.
I can say both because I can say both because both of y'all are on Turtle Island.
Two nations.
On Turtle Island.
The reason why you can't take both, you cannot. So you, nanya-Shaabu, chief of the Atsikata Nation, owns everything on Turtle Island. You have jurisdiction over everything here.
Yeah.
Huh?
I thought you said you were studying my stuff. You ain't seen, man, y'all ain't even seen what I've done. You said you were watching my video. You need to go back and read them. Son, I'm telling you.
What you must understand is that the United States is not this entire continent.
Pardon?
This whole continent is Turtle Island. So even if you did put a lien or whatever that on the United States, that's them. That's not talking about this entire continent.
Yeah, it is.
They didn't even own all of this.
Yeah, because I voided out the papal bull in 2008 and sent it to the Vatican. That's a claim. Why do you think the Pope apologized to indigenous peoples of the Americas?
Yeah. That's because of you?
Well, if you can't figure that out, son, like I said, you need.
No, I see the work that you're doing. That's why I said that I'm not opposed to you as an individual because I know your intentions are well. But like I said, for you to, you know what it seems like? The fight that you have right now is more powerful against us than it is against. I'm seeing the majority of your weekly word updates. It's addressing us. It's you're not trying to tear down the
y'all are doing so much fraud. Listen, look, you guys are doing so much damn fraud. I got Nuwabians coming to me complaining.
The European nations been doing for the past 1,000 years.
I've already dealt with them.
So much fraud.
I've already dealt with them.
So much fraud.
I've already dealt with them.
Okay, how How about the Jews? Did you deal with them? You deal with Israel?
I deal with them too.
They're talking about putting that embassy over there.
Yes,
and
so
they had control of America.
Yes,
they
I've
had
already dealt with them.
jurisdiction over America. So you can put a lien on the United States all you want. It's Israel. It's the Vatican who really run all of this.
And I have a lien on them and the Pentagon, and they all know about it. Next.
That's great. I'm just saying you have to be more careful because you don't understand the implications of what you're doing on a world scale.
You're not at the UN.
You're making everybody the enemy. We're not the enemy.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You just said you're guilty. You didn't listen to your president and head of state. You are guilty. You are the enemy.
So we become the enemy if we go against. Okay.
All you got to do is prove.
You know what I'm saying? As soon as we do one thing that goes against something that you don't like, you make us the enemy. How? How is that exactly?
The information you said you've been studying my videos. If you said you've been studying my videos, you already know you should already know the answer to that.
I'm trying to. You're saying that we need to turn over everything to you.
Yes.
This is like you have an extreme approach to something that doesn't have to be that way. You could come directly yourself, come to the temple in New York, or come meet with Doosua here. You could come to the Philadelphia embassy. You could come meet.
Don't need to. You guys do fraud. Did you hear what I said? Fraud voids a contract ab initio.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't really know what to say from here because
nothing you can say. Tell Doosua here. You tell Doosua turn the keys over to Atsakata. Give them to Chief Nanya-Shaabu. That's what you do.
What you do know that you do, like come on now, like you don't actually expect Doosua to say, oh yeah, here you go.
I'm not expecting him to do. I'm not expecting him to turn. I anticipate he'll resist, which will prove his fraud and guilt. So it's quantum checkmate.
Fraud of what exactly? Like,
well, if you don't know what fraud you are,
we are a nation
listen.
And we have our own laws. We are a sovereign nation. What fraud? Don't we define what fraud is?
I'll accept that for value and consideration.
Okay.
But your nation has to turn. Your nation has to come over to. You got to turn over to Atsakata. It's that simple.
You have to give some type of. You can't just simply say something like that. Like you can't just simply.
Yes, I can, and I did, and I'll say it again. I'll say it again.
The citizenship of. Does that include the
citizen equals chattel property? So that's the next mistake. Your syntax is incorrect. So citizenship is chattel property.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. When I take an oath to your nation and fall up under you as a chief, do I not have to follow your rules as if you're the shepherd and I'm still chattel property? It's just different terminology, but I still have to obey your orders.
Because you don't know how to navigate in commerce.
I'm talking about. You keep talking about the white man's commerce. I'm talking about your laws,
do you
your
have,
nation.
Let me put it this.
Sovereignty.
Let me put it to you this way. Like I stated before, if you got the Federal Reserve notes, you're not a secured party, you're not a creditor, you don't have any claims, you're chattel, and you're using that as a conduit because you don't have anything of value. And the Federal Reserve.
So for the next 24,000 years, we're gonna be filling out SF-181s, calling ourselves white.